Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We are 2 days removed from the WWE Royal Rumble, but I can honestly tell you that a video today is better than no video at all. I know this is coming to you before Monday Night Raw, so maybe not everything is going to be 100% up to date because I don't know what the plan is for tonight, but I can tell you I sat through and I watched an entire WWE pay-per-view. First time, long time. I can honestly tell you that yes, I did feel myself becoming bored. I did feel myself becoming tired by the end of the men's Royal Rumble. I'm honestly not sure if it was a 3-hour or if it was a 4-hour extravaganza of a pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble was. But I honestly think that a majority of the show was really good. The one thing that I can easily say, I don't want it to be taken sexist. I don't want to be taken out of the direction or anything like that. But I think the show would be better if there was only one Royal Rumble. I don't care if you give the men a Rumble one year, you give the women a Rumble the next year. I don't care if you put one Rumble in January and then you put another Rumble on the February show. I think that would be really fun because the Royal Rumble is a match that everyone loves. WWE has done, battle royals and things like that, but they've never really capitalized on trying to find another way to give us another Royal Rumble, other than like the corporate Rumble or, something like that, during its time. Hell, even, they're trying to use more WCW themes. I think that they're running out of ideas and picking things out of the warehouse. Go back and give us a World War III. I loved those matches. Yeah, you can't see everything. I know you lose revenue dollars because it takes up 3 rings instead of 1 ring. But, they could find some way to do this. Because I think that, honestly, for the women's match, which I really don't know a lot that was going on in WWE at the time. I just knew the names. I was pumped. I was even pumped for like the returning, Summer Rae, Cameron, Melina. Really good stuff. I think maybe doing that match twice in the same night, I think might be just a little bit too much. WWE, they got their big main event programs for WrestleMania. I'm not sure if WrestleMania in Dallas is going to be 2 nights or if it's going to be 1 night. But, they could easily have 2 main events right there with Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Some people thought that they were just sort of scrapping that and forgetting it and going in a different direction. WWE doesn't normally do that. You can go back to like the CM Punk versus Ryback TLC match. They ended up delivering that on an episode of Monday Night Raw. They find a way. If they promise something, they find a way to deliver it. If it has to get scrapped due to injury or something like that, they don't want to let their fan base down normally. But I think honestly a pretty good show. The Rollins versus Reigns match, I didn't love the finish. They were telling a storyline of basically Roman Reigns doing everything it takes to stay champion and stay on top, and really having competitors out there that were good enough to beat him, and he had to do whatever it takes to keep that championship one more day, even if it is take a loss due to disqualification. It keeps him there, and it keeps Rollins on the chase. The Miz, Edge, Beth Phoenix, Maurice match was fun. Maurice was hot. I honestly, you go back and watch my old videos from when Maurice was in the WWE, I was one person actually saying, give Maurice more time. I thought she was a really good wrestler back at the time. She was a pretty good heel, but I mean, I wasn't really like pushing the women's revolution or anything like that. I think I just liked Maurice. But that was a pretty good match. The surprises during the show, I think for the most part, they paid off. Brock coming out to end the show at number 30 was pretty predictable. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I think I was predicting it so much, I didn't think it was going to come true. But I was just looking in the ring and thinking, okay, this person has to go to WrestleMania. You know, it looks like Bobby Lashley's a babyface. It has to be a heel. You know, and then if they're going to go to WrestleMania and they're going to face Roman Reigns, you know, it has to be a babyface. And I was trying to figure out what the biggest name was that could go to WrestleMania and be one of those headlining anchor stars to push them over the top. And I just really couldn't pick anybody out there. Ronda is a rumor that got, you know, pushed continuously going up to the Rumble. I didn't want to believe it because of the fact that she had been gone so long. She just had a baby freaking 4 months ago. I think I liked her look. It just was definitely different than what she wrestled in, like from WrestleMania 34 to 35. I think that attire had a time and place, but the fact that she kept it the whole time, I don't even think she liked wrestling in that, you know, short little mini skirt, Roddy Piper looking deal. Dressing her up in all black, I guess she kind of looks like a ninja. She definitely looks like she can kick your ass. You know, I'm not wanting to get in the ring with her, I'll tell you that much. And Charlotte better watch her mouth, because when they got in the ring last time, hell, when they were on Raw the last time, they got the cops called on them. Remember that big brawl where basically it was like an episode of Cops trying to break up their fight? They were fighting in and out of cop cars. That was nuts. I think I might just have to look up that segment tonight just to honestly relive it. And Becky ended up being the one that beat both of them. So it's going to be a fun match. That honestly should be really good. I can tell you right now, Brock versus Roman and then Ronda versus Charlotte doesn't get me pumped to watch WrestleMania. I can tell you that if I'm home, I'm gonna watch WrestleMania. But like as of right now, like if anything comes up or like over the past few years, like it just happens that somebody's birthday pops up, or you know the family says, hey, why don't we have a dinner on this night? I'm not breaking my plans to go home and tell them I gotta watch WrestleMania. So I'm gonna need something else. I don't think it's gonna be Bad Bunny or anything else, but you know they gotta add some firepower to get this fired up and get us ready to roll. So Rumble, good show, kind of ran out of steam. It looks like if you look at the dirt sheets online today, Shane McMahon taking a lot of heat. I'd always been like kind of like wondering what his backstage role was with the company, like what his real job was. First time I've ever really seen him, you know, packed up as a guy that's like a producer of a match, and like, you know, a guy putting it really together, and especially it being like a Royal Rumble. I think that's like big shoes for him to fill. I've never really heard anybody talk about him being a producer in like shoot interviews or regular interviews. I just always hear that he's just always around backstage. And his last job in the company, of course, this is going back to like 2005, he was the guy who was in charge of what was on WWE.com. So, you know, a lot of people say that they didn't like him, you know, being the guy that eliminated Matt Riddle, being the guy who eliminated Kevin Owens. You know, it added to the match. Shane McMahon is a name that's been in the company since the late 90s. And if you're going to be, getting out of your seat and popping for the return of, I was about to say Jimmy the Superfly Snuka. I don't know why I was going to say that. I was just trying to think of like an old name that, comes back to the Rumble. If you're going to be popping for any returning name, you're going to be popping for freaking Shane McMahon. It just happens that, he eliminated some fan favorites, so he's going to be the guy that people are crapping on. So I'm not really a big fan of that. But, I wish Triple H was there. I'll give you that much. If he's not going to be running back things backstage, if he's not going to be, the guy in charge of NXT, if you're doing surprise show-ups at the Royal Rumble, Triple H should be one of those guys. I understand that he just had, whatever they what was the word that they ended up throwing out there for it? He didn't have a heart attack, but he had like compilations. What is the word I'm trying to say? Because that's not the word. Complications with his heart? He had some sort of heart surgery or something like that. They didn't put surgery on there. It was like, he had some sort of procedure, I think that they said. They didn't want to flat out come out and say the dude had a heart attack. I hope he didn't have a heart attack. But, Triple H, one of the biggest badasses there's ever been in WWE. I think he can still whoop anybody's ass that's on the roster. That's the guy I want to see coming out there. Even if he's not going to win it, he deserves to be there. So, we'll see. I'm glad that everybody else had fun. But, yeah, I can admit, the NFC Championship game that happened last night was the next day. The Niners being in it, I wanted to get to work because I knew it was going to be a busy day. I wanted to hit 100. I wanted to make sure that my department, was up to standards and ready to go for the day. So I knew I was ready to go to bed so I could wake up. I think I was trying to go to work at 4 in the morning. I don't think I ended up getting there till like 4:30. But I just wanted to get there early. So I knew that we could knock it out of the park. So, to tell you the truth, I went to bed early last night after the NFC Championship game because the Niners lost too. So, peace out, guys. I'll see y'all down the road.